Welcome back to the Georgetown Global Forum. We're going to get started then with our first panel, which is Wall Street Meets Unpaved Streets, the global impact of the financial crisis. And in order to introduce this panel, I am going to bring up Dean George Daly. He has been the Dean of the McDonough School of Business at Georgetown since 2005. At McDonough, he has been developing all the school's programs, but especially those in the MBA program, International Business, and Emerging Markets programs. Previous to Georgetown, he was professor of business and served a 9-year term as dean at the Stern School of Business of New York University. Please give a hand to Dean Daly.
Thank you very much, and thanks to all of you for being here. It's extraordinary in this city of many diversions to have so many people this early in the morning show up, and we are most appreciative and think it reflects something about Georgetown University. It will not come as a secret to any of you that the world is going through and has gone through over the last year or so some very convulsive changes in its financial and economic structure. And although those have been profound as felt in the United States, they are reverberating with even more ferocity in other parts of the world, and that raises very important questions as to our future, as to what is going to happen with less developed countries that are highly dependent on commodities whose prices are falling. What is this going to mean for countries that are far more dependent on international trade than a large country such as the United States? We have an exceptional panel to discuss these issues, and I look forward with you to hearing them. I simply wish to introduce our moderator, Parag Khanna, who's a senior research fellow of the New America Foundation. And although he is very young, he has already compiled a remarkably impressive career. He is director of the Global Governance Initiative, and he's a senior research fellow at the New America Foundation. He is the author of the international bestseller, The Second World, Empires and Influence in the New Global Order, published by Random House in 2008. And that's been translated into over a dozen languages. During 2007, he was senior geopolitical advisor to the United States Special Operations Forces in Iraq and Afghanistan. From 2002 to 2005, he was the Global Governance Fellow at the Brookings Institution in Washington. And from 2000 to 2002, he worked as the World Economic Forum in Geneva. And before that, he was a research associate at the Council of Foreign Relations here in New York. Best of all, or most impressive of all, he holds a Bachelor of Science degree in International Affairs and a minor in philosophy from the School of Foreign Service at Georgetown University, and a master's degree in Georgetown's Security Studies program. He's earning and working on a PhD as we speak in international relations at the London School of Economics. He has also studied at the Free University of Berlin and has received grants from a number of organizations. So please welcome our panel, and in particular our moderator, Parag Khanna.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much, Dean Daly. It's an honor to be here, and thank you all for joining us for this first panel for what is sure to be a very exciting and timely event. One of the main themes, as you've seen in the background material for today's discussions, are how collaborations among key stakeholders of society, business, government, civil society, can work together to ensure and address challenges of sustainable development in the world today. But the initial conditions right now are clearly very worrying. Development assistance has fallen. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Development assistance has fallen. Charitable giving is down. Foreign direct investment is down into emerging markets. Remittances are down as well. Now, moving forward, we hear a lot about the key words we need to think about: scalability, ensuring feedback into interventions and assistance, and the multi-sector nature of activity that needs to take place. what is the division of labor among those sectors? And that is one of the key themes that, that this panel is going to address today, in providing some analysis and insight into the global landscape moving forward. Now, today's distinguished panelists are all far more qualified than myself, and so I won't go through the bios as generously as Dean Daly did of mine, but you do have them in front of you. We are joined by President Jose Maria Aznar of Spain, Congressman Joseph Crowley of New York, Mary Erdoes from JP Morgan, Matthew Bishop from The Economist, and Andrew Ross Sorkin of The New York Times. What we're going to do is start with a round or two of questions for each of them, followed by a brief discussion among the panelists, and then we are going to open up the panel to questions from the audience.